All right, this is my typical breakfast for the morning for this 21-day cut, and honestly, just in general, what I really like eating. Um, 2 eggs, 100 grams of egg whites. That's cooking on the left, and 4 slices of turkey bacon. So, love turkey bacon. Unlike actual bacon, which obviously I love more, it's much lower in fat. You still get some protein. Each of those slices are about 35 calories and about 2 grams of protein, and I just love having that with my breakfast in the morning. You get a lot more protein if you do chicken breast. I just cannot stand chicken breast in the morning, so I'll do the turkey bacon, and then what I do is supplement it with a little bit of cottage cheese, 1 serving, and that boosts the protein up. So macros here, looking about 395 calories, and you're looking at about 44 grams of protein. There's a lot more protein in an Australian Shepherd, but look at those eyes. How could you possibly want to eat that? All right, next up for meal 2 is Fairlife milk with protein shake. You can see 13 grams of protein versus 8 for regular milk, and at only 80 calories. It's fantastic. My Whey Protein is one of my favorite brands. They have a lot of great flavors. Macros are really good. This goes well, honestly, even with water. If you look at the salted caramel, it's delicious. You put it in that Fairlife milk, you'll love yourself. And yeah, I can't say enough about how convenient it is to be able to do this combo with the Fairlife low cal, high protein, and something as good tasting as my Whey Protein. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. And for meal 3, we have 120 grams of white rice, 120 grams of chicken, any white rice or jasmine rice or whatever works. I stick with basmati just because it digests well for me, and it's what I usually prefer. I did a lot of white rice back in the day and jasmine, and this one just works really well. 16 grams of nut butter. Peanut butter will work just well. I switch it up with cashew and almond butter just so I can have some variety. And this is a great brand that I get at Sam's Club. The teriyaki, the sweet teriyaki fillets. Great macros. Not too crazy, honestly, with the fat or the sodium for what you get. And they legit taste pretty damn well. 8 minutes at 350 in the air fryer is what I typically do. So once 4 minutes is close, we go ahead and turn these suckers. You can see they're already looking pretty damn well, and this is only halfway done. Again, really good brand, and doing it this way in the air fryer, they have that crisp on the outside and retain a lot of moisture. They're not dry by any means. Quick dog tax. Don't worry, these go right in the washer, so nothing to be worried about. Or in the cabinet for unruly guests in the future. You never know when you need to punish some guests that are misbehaving with dog saliva. Yeah, so this is basically how they turn out at the end. Can't quite hear it, but they were sizzling. I mean, they were basically posing for the camera. They just look at how picturesque. Like, yeah, you would eat this shit. It's good. Just take my word for it and try it. Final meal, 120 rice, 120 chicken, a banana, and nut butter. The banana is just for extra carbs. For the pre-workout, and I just do this the same on my off training days just to keep it simple. But this is a really good pre-workout meal to eat an hour beforehand. Just get a lot of energy and fat and all that stuff that you need to have a killer workout. Pro tip, sumac. I learned about it from eating a lot of kebabs. Great topping for rice. This shit is absolutely fantastic, and supposedly it's also good for your digestion. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it tastes great, and I just absolutely love it on white rice. It brings out a lot of flavor. Alright, and this is pretty much the final meal of the day, and the heaviest one, about 120 Gs of spaghetti, 120 Gs of 93% lean beef, and 150 grams of that low-calorie calico sauce. It just depends what we're in the mood for. Those range from 35 to 50 calories or so you can double, triple up to get a lot of flavor and not at the expense of too many calories. I like to add these sweet gherkins just for a little kind of a crunch, a little pop, a little contrast to the spaghetti. And when the beef is cooked, it's seasoned with a lot of different spices, and just I'll maybe post the full recipe or show my girlfriend cooking it at some point in the future, but it's just a great recipe, and this is a very filling meal and a great end to the night. Honestly, I look forward to it pretty much every single day. All right, and in lieu of a post-workout protein shake with an English muffin, on a rest day, I'll typically have a Creami. So this right here is a Ninja Creami. You take these containers and you put your ingredients overnight. In this case, I have about a cup of milk and my usual 50 grams of protein powder. Once frozen and ready to serve, you put them in that container. Those blades there is what it's actually going to do the magic and create this sort of ice cream or sorbet type texture. So once you're done, you load that container, lock it, put it in the Creami, twist it so it's fully locked and ready to go, and then you have a couple different options. I always do the full so that it works top to bottom. You can have, if you only want to do the top or bottom section, depending on how you set it up. I always do the full ice cream setting started, and it typically runs for about 2 minutes while it does its thing top to bottom. And once it's done, you basically just pop it out and you're ready to go. So right here, you unlock it, and this is kind of what the final product is going to look like. One thing to note, it looks a little rough in this case because I forgot to add Xanthax gum, and it didn't really have a lot of texture to work with. So what you do in this case, you add a little bit of water, put it back in, and just have it go for a respin. Now what a respin is going to do is just kind of do the same thing again. It's what they recommend in this case. I don't know why you wouldn't just run it for the full cycle, but that's literally what they say, is to run it for a respin if you're just doing it. So yeah, there's what it looks like now with some added water, more of that actual ice cream texture. This stuff is great and will last you a lot longer than just a protein shake, which is fantastic for those cutting days where you need your food to last a lot longer. She's like, please, you can spare a bite.
She's wasting away, babe.
There we go.